At this year's Renegade Craft Fair, I asked some Austin artists how they got started doing what they do and what advice they would have for new artists.
I got started I got a degree in printing, and then I worked as a graphic designer for 2 years and then worked for a screen printer. And then I moved to Austin about 3 years ago and I just started drawing. And I opened up an Etsy shop and then things took off from there. I think the best advice I can give is just hang in there. If you love what you do and you just keep at it, you'll make it work.
So we're both trained as architects, so we definitely have an interest in design and making and fabrication. And I was exposed to a lot of the digital fabrication technology that we use, like laser cutting and CNC routing, when I was in school, and I found that I was actually more interested in that than architecture. I would say to just start taking classes, looking things up on the internet, come to our workshop, join, become a member. Yeah, I think just talking to people, looking at things, just get started. I would say tinkering, yeah, just testing things out, test. Yeah, play. It's fun, yeah, that's the fun part, figuring it out. So, yeah, talk to people and learn and come see us.
I've always been interested in music and art. I went to college for advertising design, and I met a guy by the name of Todd Slater, who actually went to the same college that I did, and I saw what he was doing and thought it was really cool. I got into screen printing there at the college as well, and started screen printing posters for my own band first, built up a portfolio and just kept going from there and haven't stopped since. The best advice that I would give to someone that's interested in doing this, I would say it's real simple, sounds silly, but just do it. Like, make things, continue to make things. You'll either continue to get better or to get worse and then get better again, and you'll have a huge portfolio of all kinds of stuff and you'll just be creating. And I think if you want to do something, you make it happen.
I was working in a craft magazine. I've always created things my whole life, but I was working in a craft magazine and I was really inspired by writing these articles and blog posts about artists who were making their living by just creating and crafting and having an online website. And a lot of them are at Renegade today, so it feels really awesome to be here with them. Anything you see, you can make yourself. You can go to Target, you can go to Urban Outfitters, you can just look at something and say, I can make that. And it's sort of the crafting bug when you just want to make and make and make. But flip through magazines, go shopping, and just try and think of ways that you can create that on your own rather than purchasing something that's mass-produced.
The way I got started, I was in art school for a couple years, ended up dropping out, but took a metal class and really liked it, and then heard about the jewelry program at ACC, and they're really talented. It's all master bench jewelers, and I think that they really taught me a lot. And I guess I would say any advice I would give is just to kind of soak up as much information as you can get. There's a lot of really good informative people out here, and just kind of put yourself out there and go into stores, do what you want to do, get your stuff out to the public.
Well, it's funny, I didn't major or study art during school except for a little minor, and I had a friend who had access to the university screen printing lab, and I had taken some intro courses but ended up being a studio monitor at both a screen printing studio and a letterpress studio. And then from there, it really just took me into learning more about it. Started an internship and moved down to Austin to work at Coronado Studio. And from there, I just kept on growing, kept on printing, and started up my own studio last year. Well, obviously, first things first, just make some stuff, you know. It doesn't take much. You just start with something you're interested in. You know, it could be something you've already read about or, you know, been a fan of, and just start learning about how you start to make it. Maybe find a workshop near you or someone else who does it, and you can go the way I went and have an internship. You'll learn a lot.
So
I have been a textile designer since college, so 20 years. Always been interested in pattern making, and about 5 years ago I really started to make my own product. I sort of wanted to shift gears from the office and make my own products, my own patterns. So I started this business, and I've been doing partly my own and partly freelance for other people. But I just love textiles and patterns, so it's been my passion. I think the most important thing is stick with it and don't give up. It can be daunting, and you feel like what you're doing is not important, but it is, and it's just important to have confidence. Confidence is key.
My wife and I make letterpress cards and prints, and we got started when we were getting married. We were looking into wedding invitations, and came across letterpress, and wanted to learn a little bit more about it. Had our wedding invitations letterpressed, and then actually wanted to get into it ourselves. So we got our first press. It's a 1,400-pound, what they call proof press, and we have that in our garage, and that's where we make our artwork. And so the tips I'd give to anyone who wants to get started out with making anything would be just get out there and just start. The hardest thing is just putting that first mark on a sheet of paper, or the first pixel on the screen. So just try something, get some feedback, show it to people, and always look for ways to improve, and just have no fear, and you'll come out on top.